Buckeyes are a local favorite. They are chocolate-covered peanut butter candy that is absolutely easy to make and just really cute to look at. If you are a college fan, you will really know what I'm talking about. These are made for everyone, especially during football season. Here are your ingredients, but I'll include a link below that will give you full nutrition information and the history behind them. Start out with 1/2 cup of butter, that's 113 grams or 1 stick. You want it well softened. And you're going to beat this until smooth and then add in the peanut butter. If you add in the peanut butter with the butter, it sometimes will get lumpy and just kind of greasy, so try to beat them separately. If you're not using salted butter, you will add salt later, but I'm using salted butter, so I'm going to forgo that. We're going to add in a whole jar or 1 pound of peanut butter, 54 grams, and beat this in. Once that's combined, we're going to add in our salt and in our vanilla. I'm adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 5 milliliters. And again, if you didn't have salted butter, add in 1 teaspoon of salt or 5 grams. At this point, we're going to add in 1 pound of powdered sugar, 454 grams. It sounds like a lot. You can actually use less, but you're going to have to utilize that refrigerator more. However, if you look at the original recipe, it was insane with the amount of powdered sugar it used to use. So this is actually much healthier than what it used to be like. You need it to be a consistency where if you squeeze it together, it will hold its shape nicely. And you can use one of these scoopers and scoop it out to have a consistent shape. But I like to just kind of eyeball it and get various shapes so that way it kind of reminds you of Buckeyes. You have one that's a little bit bigger than a little bit smaller. And in the end, everybody gets to choose which size is best for them. And you're going to roll it between your fingers if you can. If you use the palm of your hand, it heats up really quickly and it's going to melt all over your hands after a while. Regardless of however you do it, within about 12 or so, you may have to rinse your hands off. Now this should be a no-brainer, but since this is a no-bake dessert, please make sure you have super clean hands when making these. And if you're going to sell them, you're going to need to wear some gloves. So just keep that in mind. You want to be very clean when making these. And you're just going to just kind of eyeball it. These are about 1 inch in diameter, 2.54 centimeters, and just kind of roll them out until you run out. As you can see, I have some big ones, some little ones. The little one is actually more traditional. And once this is done, you're going to refrigerate it for a while, at least a half hour till it's really nice and firm. While that's going, we're going to heat up some chocolate in the microwave. I'm going to do it 30 seconds at a time and stir it. And then we're going to put some toothpicks into the balls, and this just helps us dip the candy into the balls, or dip the peanut butter into the chocolate. Sorry, I am talking too fast. Once you get the chocolate out of the microwave, give it a good stir, pop it back into the microwave. You might want to go 15 seconds the next time, stirring each time. Get it to where it is nice and fluid. If you see any lumps, stir it a few moments first to make sure it doesn't melt in. But if it doesn't melt after a good 30 seconds of stirring, then go ahead and start popping it in the microwave at 5 seconds at a time. Now, if this gets too hot, what will happen is the peanut butter ball will start to melt and it will just slide right off into the chocolate. All you need to do is just put the peanut butter back in the refrigerator to chill for a while and let the chocolate cool. And if the chocolate gets too cool as you are working with it, then just put it in the microwave for 5 seconds. If you do not have a microwave, I will include a link below that will show you how to use the stove top, and it's a really simple process. Now, if you want, you should temper this chocolate and it will be wonderful, but traditionally these are kept chilled and tempering is not a big deal. You just melt the chocolate. I have found that candy melts is a really quick and foolproof way to make these. If you don't care about health and nutrition, I say go with the candy melts, especially if you're making them the first time. And the beauty about the candy melts, you don't have to worry about tempering chocolate. You don't have to worry about keeping them refrigerated. You can just dip them, let them harden, and keep them out on the stove all day long. Not stove, on the counter all day long and let people snack on them. However, If you want to eat these the traditional way, I recommend putting them in the refrigerator and eating them chilled. There's just something about them. Okay, we're just going to dip them about halfway down, a little bit more if you want, and get that Buckeye look. If you don't know what a Buckeye is, I recommend Googling the Buckeye tree. It's a tree that's native to our area. I don't see them as much as I used to, which is kind of a shame because they're a beautiful tree. And then this is what they look like when they're done. If you noticed, I left a few empty. Those are going to be for the dogs. They love the peanut butter filling. I give them just a little bit every once in a while. And then you're going to refrigerate these. Maggie's already asking for them. For at least 30 minutes to an hour. And after you do that, you're just going to take a clean finger again and just kind of fill in those holes where the toothpicks were. Once you get that done, just refrigerate them a little bit more just to get them nice and chilled. And then you can just start serve them. You store these in an airtight container up to about 3 weeks in the refrigerator. You can freeze them 6 months, but if you do freeze them, they can take on the taste of the food in the freezer, so please make sure you wrap them super well. And you want to bring them to room temperature slowly, so put them in the refrigerator overnight. And that is it on how to make a Buckeye. I hope you really enjoyed this recipe. Please visit us at jacksonsjob.com for more. And as always, happy baking.